2024 was a really fun year for fashion, but now that we are officially in 2025, we've sat down in the shop and we're going to go through what we want to see more of in the new year. So I know you've kind of compiled a list of what you want.
Yes, I've got a list of somewhat predictions, but also just things that I'm already starting to see be more into the fashion landscape and that people are venturing in.
I think it's always a bit kind of full of yourself if you think you can predict.
Yes,
everything.
No, it's more just the way that things are going
Yeah.
and things that people are introducing into their wardrobes in a very natural way.
So what is it?
So the first thing I'm seeing a lot of is suede.
Yes.
Suede jackets, suede shoes as well.
Yes. I mean, I've got a pair of both. I've got a really nice pair of suede RM Williams, and I've got a 1960s, it's like a reddish brown suede jacket.
Very nice.
And I love them. I wear the RM Williams constantly. But the jacket, I mean, I guess the boots are a good place to start.
Yeah, boots are easier to build the outfit from.
Yeah.
With a nice pair of indigo denim, they're always going to look really good.
And I did notice, like, when I bought the jacket, it was beautiful, but it took me a while. I don't wear it much.
Yeah.
Because it's difficult to kind of pair. I mean, it's an odd shape. It's like an old 60s like trucker, which I struggle with anyway, but it's just how much of a statement suede on a jacket is quite...
Yeah, it is a statement. Obviously, what comes to mind as well is fringe jackets, which
Yeah.
are really, really cool. And does lean into the next trend as well, which is Western styling.
Because Western's been around for, I mean, it has like... Do you not think it's reached its peak?
It's not going away.
No.
You would
Good,
have thought,
because I love
you
Western
would have thought
stuff.
people got a bit bored, but I think because there's a lot of versatility with how you can do Western.
Yeah.
You can just do the silhouette of a shoe. You can do a belt buckle or a Western pocket. You don't have to do the full Western outfit.
Head to toe cowboy.
No, you don't have to do like the double denim. You don't have to do the fringe jacket.
Yeah.
Chaps.
I don't know, chaps.
You can. I'm all for chaps. I'm pro
I'd like
chaps.
to see chaps coming in 2025.
That's my prediction.
Leather
chaps. Leather chaps. Suede chaps.
And I guess with Western, like the suede, as you mentioned, but I also think like darker denim as well. Because it's all, I guess both of those kind of are in that overall kind of Western theme.
It's just I think it's just a nice vibe.
Yeah.
I think that they all blend into each other. They all melt into each other well, whichever way you want to go with it.
Because I think like darker indigo as well is something
really nice.
I'm seeing more of, because we went through that phase of like acid washes and like really light washes, and that I've noticed more and more people going for darker indigo, which is quite nice. Nice to see.
That's a nice part of it, isn't it? Is that you can make them more personal and you can wear this denim that reflects your day-to-day life. That is nice, and that does mean something to some people, like it means to yourself.
Yeah.
And then indigo denim is just really nice and clean, very classic. If you're going for that 50s, 60s shape as well.
And the wider shapes as well, because like
or a more modern.
Because only like
the wider shapes
over the summer as well, like only with the 222s and the 200s, they just like flew out the door.
Yes, because they look good.
Yeah,
they just dropped out.
It has that wider, more kind of streetwear silhouette,
yes,
which is obviously again something that's not going away. That kind of like wider, boxy streetwear thing. But I think, especially seeing those heritage brands sort of embrace that more kind of contemporary style is really interesting, because it positions that style in a more contemporary light, which I think is interesting, and I think it signifies something about like heritage and indigo as well, that it is being accepted by other kind of styles or aesthetics. If you
I think we're seeing like the modern person just realise how important and how personal denim can be.
Yeah.
There's so many different shapes you can buy now. It's not really dictated by trends anymore.
Yeah.
You know, it used to be like for one decade it's one specific style, this. Now it's like you have whatever silhouette works for you that day, or whatever silhouette you use.
I do think that is also something, well, I hope we're going to see more of, is like dressing for yourself, like not dressing because
I agree.
I see a lot of people wearing skinny jeans, I see a lot of people wearing wider jeans, I see a lot of people wearing this cut or this shape. I do think that there's more of an emphasis on you just wear what you want. And I think there was that whole phase of like, oh, skinny jeans are coming back, oh, wide jeans are done. And I think you wear what you want.
People are finally figuring out what actually works for them.
Yes.
And what looks good for them. And I think fashion rules as a whole seem to be going out the window.
Well, I heard a really interesting thing about like micro trends and like micro internet trends and that sort of cycle of traditional like month-long trends or year-long trends is sort of leaving, because they're happening so quickly through TikTok, through Instagram. I think you end up with like a really eclectic mix of stuff that like you don't have time to build up a wardrobe of just a trend because they're happening so fast. So you end up with, you find a piece maybe from a trend you like that suits you, and then we're onto something else. You've got something new kind of giving you inspiration. So I think people are building wardrobes less based on trends, but more based on specific pieces they like. It's quite nice.
So, yeah. I think people are realising what actually reflects their style rather than products that are being pushed on them.
Yeah. Soft tailoring.
Yes.
I hope it's going to be in.
It's easy, isn't it? And you've got a lot of scope with it because you can do it a little bit with just like a blazer.
I've seen a lot of love for Ralph Lauren lately, which I think is a really fun thing because I do think he's one of the most stylish men to walk the earth.
Very consistent.
Very
vision,
consistently.
brand.
Yeah.
And that ties into the Western style as well, doesn't it?
Like he's got the whole RRL sub-label.
Yes.
But I also think like his personal style with it doesn't work a lot of the time, but the way he chooses his garments, it just pulls together so nicely. Yes. And I think if you're looking at someone who does soft tailoring really, really well with, like you said, just the blazer, the jeans, a shirt, just a nice dress shirt, and then pairing that with like a pair of sneakers.
Yeah. It
brings some really like fun, casual elements into some very, very nice, dressier elements and makes it in a way that's very, very wearable, very, very casual, but looks great.
Yeah, I've seen people contrasting a lot of almost pyjama wear as well with like a blazer, which I think is really exciting.
It's
like
fun.
A pair of Birkenstocks, a pair of like really loose cotton trousers that are almost like pyjamas. A t-shirt or a shirt and then a blazer. It's a very bold look. It can be a very bold look, or it could be more pared back. But I think you'll always look really stylish if you do something that is a bit out there. So if that is.
Well, I guess it's just like,
it's quite exciting.
As long as you know how to pick your proportions right, like we were saying.
Yes.
You can't really go wrong. I also think it's people are a lot more accepting of experimentation.
Normally, fashion, it follows these regimented silhouettes and shapes, but it really is. You know, if you walk down the street, you know, in Shoreditch where we are, you'll see in all these different shapes and all these different people, and it is really inspiring.
And it is very rare you see someone in a bad outfit, I think.
Yes,
it doesn't, like, I've noticed less...
In a city especially.
Yeah, I've noticed less people kind of sticky. You can't point at too many people anymore saying, like, that's that trend.
And people don't look too styled or curated. It looks very natural as well,
it's
which
nice,
is a difficult thing to do. But people are really, I don't know, people are inspiring when you see them walking around. Everyone just looks cool.
I feel underdressed.
Yeah, you see someone looks really good and you're like, right.
What else? I think...
So another one that I have been seeing a lot of, and I saw it on you yesterday, is bag accessories.
Yes.
So people are accessorising their bags, which I think it has been inspired a lot by Jane Birkin's Birkin.
Of course.
Because that's been making the rounds a lot on the internet, is images of how she styled her original Birkin, which is... Rest in peace, Jane, icon. But she would just have... You know, this one of the most expensive handbags you can buy in the world, just stuff flowing out of it, like charms all over it, really messy, leather scratched.
Yeah.
I think there's a real punkness and an identity to doing that people are realising feels nice.
Because I don't like wearing, like, I have my keys, which are... just make me jingle everywhere and people...
I can hear when you're rounding the corner.
I like Pavlov dogs people when they hear jingles. But I don't like wearing too many like accessories on me.
No.
But like you said, with my bag, I've got like the Porter reps came round and they gave us those little Porter like boy logo bobblehead things. So I've got one of those. I've got like loads of pins, and it is the only place I really put accessories. I don't like putting them on jackets. I don't like putting them on, you know.
Yeah, it's a nice way of doing it if you don't like feeling like you have loads of things on you, because it can be a bit of a sensory overload sometimes.
Yeah.
And also it can offset a really clean outfit. If you feel like you're a bit too put together, if you put this like messy, intentionally messy bag on, you look a bit more cool and interesting than just like really clean.
An area of interest.
Not too squeaky clean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I when you said like personalisation, I do think that is something I'd like to see more of, is people like fucking up their clothes. Like really making them their own.
I like things looking a bit messed up.
Yeah, like putting some work into... I like the idea of like having a garment that you know you are going to have for a while.
Yeah.
and therefore doing what you want with it. Like less about like, oh, can I resell this? Can I keep this in pristine condition? But like really working on something.
If you have bought this piece that you genuinely love,
you're
never going to really want to sell it anyway. So you want it to age with you. Yeah. There's something really exciting about that.
Put some marks on it.
Yeah.
It's nice. Yeah.
It feels like yours then, doesn't it? Yeah. And it will fit to your body and it becomes a part of your identity. People will see it and think of you. It's a very strong thing to have that image reflected in your clothing as well.
Yeah. Lug Soles. I think Lug Soles.
We're seeing them. There they are. And bad boys.
Red Wings with a lug sole. I think we've seen like a lot of lug sole shoes going, whether it's the hiking boots like the Avoriaz has sold like crazy, and the Clusaz.
Yeah.
And well, actually saying that, it's the Clusaz went really well, which is the low top para boot.
Yeah.
And some of para boots and Yucatan's boat shoes went really well. So maybe it's like low top shoes with a lug sole.
I've been seeing a lot of, on TikTok especially, a lot of people styling boat shoes.
Yeah.
Which is exciting because they've not been
I love them.
a thing. They're typically associated with like an older man
type
shoe. Like when I think of boat shoes, I do think of my dad.
They're
from
cool.
the Isle of Wight, so it's like
Oscar.
You know, sailing, you do think of that. Obviously, it's a boat shoe. It's not really made its way in the city, has it?
Not really. But, like customer service icon rep, Oscar. He just got a pair of the Paraboot boat shoes, and they look fantastic. They look really, really cool. They don't look stuffy at all. They don't look too dressy. There's something almost rugged about them, and I think
agree.
it is the lug sole.
They're exciting because they do feel like this forgotten shoe that all of a sudden everyone's like, oh wait, the boat shoe.
Yeah, there's some really nice ones.
Something new that we can play around with and style, and again looks good with a pair of denim.
And
looks good with a chino.
You've also got like the Clusaz, which is the low top hiking boot with the lug sole, and I think that it's impossible to kind of get your hands on because it's just flying out like at and I think there's that blend of like dressiness and rugged kind of utility, which I think pairs really nicely, and a lot of people are really into at the minute because it's just versatile. Isn't it? You can get a pair of shoes that works with a huge range of outfits.
They're comfy.
Yeah.
If you're,
well, after a few weeks.
Once you've broken them in. But with commuting life, especially, sometimes the trainer can get a bit boring. If you're walking around a lot, if you've got a long walk to tube, long walk to the office, you have to have a practical shoe. You know what it's like when you've picked a bad shoe for your day at work. Horrible. Like an uncomfortable shoe, it ruins your day, it slows you down. Yeah. So I think everyone's realising how important a comfy shoe is.
Yeah. Stripes?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of stripes. I've always loved stripes because, I like a lot of clean sort of 60s silhouettes. Yeah. So stripes for me are just a very classic look, just a black and white is very nice.
I've got the Freewheelers long sleeve black and white striped shirt, which I wear a lot. I quite like it because it's like old school 60s bikery.
Yeah.
And then we've got the Lee like hickory stripe trousers, which I've really got my eye on. They're wide, they're contemporary, they feel very...
Like a pinstripe.
Yeah, they're like black and white stripe. They feel very contemporary, but they still have that old school kind of Lee vibe. It's based on the Lee archive stuff from like the proper old school workwear. But they're something you can really blend into like a huge range of outfits, and I do think that texture is quite nice, just like breaking it up visually. Yeah,
I think stripes are great. Stripes appear on any item of clothing as well. You could have just a striped sock peeking out and it's something a bit more exciting. Yeah, cool. You can be very purposeful with a stripe, which is what I like, because it draws the eye in. So whatever you want your focus to be on your outfit, whether it's a really cool beanie that's striped, or a sock, or a t-shirt, or a pinstripe trouser, And you can be very bold. You can have contrasting colours going on. You can have a red and blue stripe. You can mix it up. You can do double stripe. Bold. If you're bold, brave enough.
So you were saying something you've noticed online is
more of my online research.
Sleuthing.
This is just in my everyday. I just notice it. But I've been seeing loads of like when people do like their edits of different jackets that they're sort of excited about and being inspired by. One that I see on all of them is a hooked deck jacket. So when they have the asymmetrical...
It's cool because it's like, we've sort of got a friends thing going on with Ralph Lauren and the hook, because Phoebe wore a lot of hooked jackets.
Yeah, that's true.
But I do think, those lobster clasps are really fun. And I don't think there was like a gap. There was a lot of it in the 90s.
Yeah, it's
exciting. Then it's just disappeared with I don't know, when was the last time you saw a hooked lobster clasp jacket? I haven't seen them ages, but every time I go to like a vintage fair or I see jackets with those hooks like front and centre.
Yeah, there's something special about a really purposeful asymmetric line in an outfit as well. Because again, if you've put on something that's really clean, but then you have this asymmetry, it makes you just look more interesting, and it's just more. It's more of like an artistic outfit to look at, and it's a weird thing to say, but it is.
I really
not have. I really hate like really purposeful symmetry.
Really.
So I like when there's a like I always wear these earrings like this because I like that there's a little offset somewhere. I enjoy that a lot.
I tried for ages to style like I was like desperately trying to look good in like a biker jacket, like a leather biker jacket with the asymmetrical zip.
Yeah.
It just didn't work.
You didn't like it.
I just don't look good in asymmetry.
You think you're pro symmetry?
I'm pro symmetry.
See, I'm pro asymmetry. So that's what a blend.
What a blend.
Meet in the middle, just slightly off.
Slightly off. Just a little bit wrong.
Isn't it? Looks unintentional.
Not yeah.
Yeah, but that's it. That's the predictions. That's what I've been noticing.
Yeah.
And what you've been noticing as well.
Yeah.
In your own wardrobe too.
Yeah,
really.
I think I'm
especially when I saw the bag yesterday, I was like,
I'm hoping I'm not guided too much by these like internet trends. No, I guess it's impossible not to.
The thing is, these ones aren't. I wouldn't call these trends because these are all very classic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think all of these little things that we're seeing, they do all connect into this wider fashion image.
It feels less and less like there are distinct groups of people.
Yeah.
Like it does feel like this.
I think after Logo Mania as well.
Yeah.
People are realising that they just want clothes that are nice.
Yeah. Understated stuff instead of big, supreme. Not that there's anything wrong with that. But...
No, if that's your style, that's your style. And some people do it
Some
really
people
well.
pull it off impeccably. Most people don't.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is our sort of forecast for 2025, stuff we want to see more of. And I think if it's anything, because I love 2024. It was a fun year for fashion. I think
it felt like a nice reset.
There was more stuff I liked than I went, oof.
Yeah,
which I usually go, oof.
Yeah, I agree. I think everyone is dressing better.
Everyone's dressing a lot better than they did.
Sounds like an awful thing to say.
I guess you think that like all the time though, because it's like
it changes.
I dress like
we're probably going to be looking back and thinking, what the hell?
Well, don't say that.